Hello, it's Catherine Watkin here of Selling from the Heart. I'm here with a Christmas message to wish you a really wonderful and restful Christmas period and festive season, but also to talk to you about why I break for Christmas and why I think that you should do too. So by the time you watch this, it will be Tuesday the 11th of December, even though I'm recording it a few days earlier, which means that here at Selling from the Heart headquarters, this is the last week before Christmas. From the 14th of December right through to the 7th of January, we close the office for Christmas. The out of office will go on, the inbox and the phone service, and we all go off to have some, really genuine downtime to rest up, to relax, to recharge our batteries, ready to do the best work in the year ahead. Now, this is something that I've done right since the very first full year of Selling from the Heart. I have always closed the office for 3 weeks, right since the beginning. I wasn't always resting behind the scenes, though. I'll talk a bit more about that. But in more recent times, I have taken 3 full weeks. So for probably the past 4 or 5 years, I've taken 3 full weeks off over Christmas to really rest and relax. And in some years, so last year and I think the year before, I actually took 4 weeks, although I do confess to having done a little bit of sneaky work in that 4th final week. And this taking real time off over Christmas has become a really important part of my business cycle. And I want to talk about it today because it could be that it needs to become an important part of your business cycle too. Some years I go abroad, so a few years I've gone over to Goa for 3 weeks. Last year I had a week in Morocco, then I had some time with my parents in North Wales, and then I had about 10 days just at home in southeast London, just pottering about at home, doing chores, sorting out things that I don't have time to do during the rest of the week. This year I'm actually using my Christmas break, my 3-week Christmas break, to move home. Then I'll spend a week with my parents in Wales, and then I'll have a little bit of quiet time just at home pottering again. The other thing for me is that my birthday also falls in between Christmas Day and New Year. So it's another really good reason for me to take time off. But let me talk about why I do this, why I take this break at Christmas, why I close the office completely. And the reason I want to talk about it is because I want you to consider the value for you of taking a really complete extended break at Christmas time for yourself. So the first and most important reason that I close the office and take 3 full weeks downtime for myself is self-care. I do put an enormous amount into running my business and serving my clients. Some might even say too much sometimes. And for every occasion that you might see me, whether it's doing a video like this or hosting a Q&A call or doing a launch for one of my programs to enroll new people, whatever it is that I'm doing in a sort of outward-facing way, I've got an equal and probably greater amount of work that goes on behind the scenes in terms of managing my team, writing emails, doing admin, doing accounts, complying with GDPR people. Yes, me too. I also still have not completed my full compliance process, so that's still going on behind the scenes. So there's a lot to running a business like this. But of course, we don't serve our clients just by working flat out to support them all the time. We also serve our clients by taking care of ourselves. We serve our clients well by being well rested and being our very best. In my own case, most of what I'm doing with clients and pretty much what I'm paid to do, the stuff that I receive income for, all comes under the heading of mentoring and teaching. In other words, I'm using my brain all the time. In other words, my brain needs to be sharp, rested and fresh. You know, my entire business depends on me not being so frazzled and exhausted that I can't string a sentence together, or I can't give a client feedback on a complex sales process, or being unable to really tap into my intuition and then articulate the information that I want to pass on. And so for me, that being well rested, you know, and I've said this many times over the years to different people, for me, one of the most important things that I can do for my business and my clients is to actually be well rested. And Christmas is the one time of year when, for me in my business, it's really easy for me to down tools completely and switch off. It's also generally accepted that it's okay to close the office during this time of year, whereas it wouldn't be quite so acceptable to say, just close the office completely for 3 weeks in the middle of August and have us all go off. So another reason why I closed the office for 3 weeks is that my team also need a break. I have 4 absolutely wonderful people who support me in my business, and it can be quite full on. So I do run launches to sell my programs, and that means that there are several super intense, busy periods throughout the year, usually 2 in a typical year. And then also, I'm also a star profile in Wealth Dynamics. And what that means is that I'm frequently asking them to do things at very short notice, with unreasonable deadlines, because I'm flying by the seat of my pants. And that's what our star profiles are like. We're incurable. So I do ask a lot of them. And so, you know, thank you, Sarah, Lizzie, John and Rachel. Thank you for all the support you give me, because I couldn't do what I do without you all. But the team are also freelancers. None of them are actually full-time employed by me. And what this means is they also have their own businesses to run, and all of the extra complexity that comes with running a business. They also have lots of other clients. So I am not the only demanding business owner who's asking too much of them much of the time. They're juggling lots of us at once. So my team also need time every year where they can rest and recharge their batteries. Now, they don't necessarily all take full 3 weeks off, and it's not up to me if they do, but I really do encourage them to. And, you know, closing the office makes it that bit easier for them to be able to take a decent break and spend time with their friends and family and loved ones. You know, if none of their clients closed their offices, they'd be working all the way through as well. The other reason I take a break now is because we really can switch off completely at Christmas. You know, we do, of course, all take holidays at other times of the year, although I do admit that this year, 2018, I have been particularly slack at taking my holidays. I have been so excited by the new membership community. I've had so much work to do to sort of build and grow that actually I realised just a few days ago that in the whole of 2018, I just took 1 full clear week off, where I wasn't doing any other work. So there were long weekends as well. And there have been times when I've been half working and half off, but I've only taken 1 full week off this year. So oops to me, and I need to sort that out next year and make sure I build more holidays in. But in previous years, I've also tended to take a long break in the summer as well. That's also a really good time for me to take things easy. So I like to take a long break in the summer as well, in July or August. But actually at that time of year, it's not as easy to switch off. You know, it's not as easy to just switch the inbox off. Everything's still going on. And it's just too easy to want to check in the inbox or have a sneak peek at how Facebook ads are running, or do a little bit of work. So the Christmas break is a time when it is particularly easy to completely switch off, which is what I do. The other reason it's a good thing to do is because our clients are also mostly away. Now, this might not be the case in your business, depending on what your service is and what you're selling. You might have a different cycle. But in my business, I noticed that most of my clients are also not really fully focused on their business at this time of year. From about mid-December, Facebook groups tend to go quiet. The emails into our inbox tend to be few and far between. And so if we kept things fully manned, or womaned, I should probably say in my business, if we kept things open, there wouldn't be a huge amount of work to do. And it wouldn't be a fair trade-off, because there wouldn't be a huge amount of work to be done, but yet people wouldn't be able to switch off so completely as they do. Now, I am not going to pretend for a minute that I'm some sort of Christmas holiday saint. This genuine long break over Christmas is something that I have come to see as absolutely essential. It's like an essential core part of my business for me to take 3 to 4 full weeks off once a year at Christmas to completely rest, not think about business at all, recharge my batteries for the year ahead. But I do confess it wasn't like this in the early years. In the first few years of this business, maybe the first 2 or 3 years, I used to do the same thing. I put the out of office on. I pretended to be away, but I would then stay at home throughout the Christmas period. I'm single with no family. I would tell my more extended family that I was not coming to visit. Then I would stay at home over Christmas and catch up on work. But when I look back now, I can see just how that didn't serve me. Yes, it felt really good to get ahead of things, and it felt really good to get on top of my work. But actually not taking a break at Christmas meant that by spring, I was already running on empty. And what I find is when I take a really decent break at Christmas, I come back refreshed, raring to go. I have so much energy that it actually carries me right up until the summertime when I take another long break. So what about you? I want to ask you, will you be taking a really decent and probably very well-deserved break as well? Because as small business owners, there is such a lot on our plates. And it can be so easy, I think, to underestimate just how much we're doing. And it's not just the practical work either, it's the emotional side. Even if you feel that your business isn't perhaps as busy as it could be, there's the emotional side of running a business that can be very draining as well. The fears, the anxieties, the taking big leaps outside of our comfort zone, the really exciting sales that then fall through the following week, all of that we have to deal with. It's an emotional journey and we need that rest. So if you're somebody who's just planning on taking just those few statutory holidays, then I really want to encourage you to seriously consider taking a full 2-week break over Christmas. And if you're the sort of person that doesn't normally switch off, you will be amazed at just how rested and clear thinking you will be when you return. So my message for you today, take a lovely long break over Christmas. Spend time with friends and family. Sleep in till 11 o'clock every morning. Take long walks in the woods or long walks on the beach. Go away if you can. Go and get some winter sunshine, or stay at home and watch movies and absorb yourself in fiction books. Just whatever you need to do to fully absorb yourself in nurturing and taking care of yourself. But connected to that, I would just have a little word of warning, which is not to overindulge on the eating side of things, because if you're not careful, and I've definitely made this mistake myself in the past, if you overindulge on the Christmas festivities, on the food and the drink, then your body can become so heavy and sluggish with trying to process all of that when you come back to work, it doesn't really feel as if you've had a break at all. So take a lovely long break, but nourish yourself with healthy foods and don't go too crazy. Apart from Christmas Day, you can go crazy on Christmas Day. And trust me, if you do this, your business and your clients will thank you for it. So wishing you lots of love. Like I said, this is our last weekend. So this is the last video you'll see from me for the next few weeks. Just wishing you a wonderful festive period. Go away, rest yourself, recharge those batteries. There's a huge vision to be created for you in 2019. And I look forward to supporting you with that if that feels like the right thing for you. Lots and lots of love to you. Bye-bye.